Hey everyone, and welcome back to Complicated Stuff on the Girl Has It All channel. I'm Thomas, and I'm so glad you're back with us for episode number 19.
And I'm Jenna. You know me as your quantum guide.
We are both part of the Girl Has It All team, and today we are going to be talking about some discoveries and trends that are blowing our minds.
Yeah.
We've got some fascinating new research on black holes, an accidental invention that's going to sound like it came straight out of the movies, and we're even going to talk about how you sit and what that might say about you.
That's right.
Jenna, I've got to start at the black hole stuff, though. I mean, black holes? Come on.
Of course. It's always a good time to talk about cosmic mysteries, and what's got me so excited about this is that scientists are figuring out how to use quantum computers to understand black holes better. It's like we're trying to unlock the universe's biggest secrets.
Okay, I got to admit, the idea of using quantum computers to study black holes does sound kind of crazy.
Right?
But how does that even work? I mean, quantum computers are still pretty new, aren't they?
They are, but the potential is just massive. What researchers are doing is using these powerful computers to study something called quantum matrix models.
Okay.
Now, these models are basically very complex mathematical frameworks that help to describe particle theory.
Particle theory. So are we talking about like the tiny building blocks that make up everything?
Exactly. And this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
There's this idea called the holographic principle. And this suggests that gravity, the force that governs black holes, might actually be like another side of particle physics.
Wait, so you're saying that by studying tiny particles, we can learn about the massive gravitational forces of a black hole?
That's the idea. It's like if you shine a light on a 3D object and look at the shadow it makes on a 2D surface, by studying the 2D shadow, you can actually learn about the 3D object.
Interesting.
In this case, the black hole is the 3D object, and the particle physics world is like that 2D shadow.
Whoa, okay. I think I need a minute to process that. That's a lot.
It's a pretty big idea.
But how do these quantum matrix models help us understand this holographic principle?
Well, researchers are using quantum computers to find what we call the ground state of these models.
Okay.
And that's basically like figuring out the most fundamental properties of a system. So imagine you're trying to understand what a material is made of, is it a good conductor of electricity or how strong it is? Finding the ground state of a quantum matrix model is kind of like doing that, but for black holes.
So it's like we're using these super powerful computers to crack the code of black holes. I'm guessing this has like huge implications for how we understand the universe.
Oh, absolutely. The ultimate goal is to contribute to this idea of building a unified theory of quantum gravity, which is like the holy grail of physics. It's this idea that we can merge Einstein's theory of gravity with the craziness of quantum mechanics, and that would totally change how we view the cosmos.
That's incredible. It makes you wonder what else quantum computers will be able to unlock in the future.
It's a
What do you guys think out there listening? Does the idea of quantum computers probing black holes make your brain hurt a little? Because mine kind of does.
Okay, so are you ready for something a little lighter but just as amazing?
Oh yeah, bring it on.
Well, we came across a story that sounds like something straight out of a comic book.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What kind of superpowers are we talking about here?
So picture this. A scientist accidentally creates a web shooter that can stick to objects from a distance.
Wait a minute, are we talking about an actual web shooter like Spider-Man? That's wild. How do you even accidentally invent something like that?
It really shows you how unpredictable science can be. This scientist named Marco Lopresti was studying how muscles attach to rocks, and he was working with silk and dopamine. And get this, while he was cleaning his glassware with acetone, he stumbled upon a substance that turns into sticky web-like fibers.
Wow, talk about a happy accident. So what makes these fibers so special? Are they just super sticky or is there something else going on?
The amazing thing is these fibers can be shot from a distance and stick to things almost instantly.
Really?
Like a remote control glue. So far, they've only been able to lift small objects like 15-20 grams from about a foot away.
Okay, so maybe not quite ready for swinging through the city just yet,
Not yet.
but still.
Yeah.
Imagine the possibilities. This could be huge for medicine construction, maybe even space exploration.
Absolutely.
Like imagine being able to fix a satellite in orbit without having to do a spacewalk.
Exactly. It's a reminder that sometimes the biggest breakthroughs come from the most unexpected places.
That's what I love about science. It's always full of surprises.
Yeah.
But let's change gears for a second and talk about something a little closer to home. Body language.
Oh, sure.
I've always been fascinated by how much our nonverbal cues can reveal about us. And I've heard there's this connection between how we sit and our personality traits.
There's actually a whole field of research dedicated to understanding how our bodies communicate even when we aren't saying anything. And yeah, even something as simple as your sitting position can give clues about your personality.
Okay, so break it down for me. What are some of the common sitting positions, and what do they say about us? I'm already self-conscious about how I'm sitting right now.
Okay, well, let's start with the classic knees straight posture.
Okay.
People who sit like this tend to be seen as punctual, rational, honest, and confident.
Okay.
They're the reliable types. They're straightforward and they don't hide their emotions, but they don't let their feelings control them either.
Interesting. So if you're in a job interview, sit with your knees straight.
Got it.
First impressions are everything right.
Right.
But okay, what about other positions? What about sitting with your knees apart?
That one's a little tricky. It can be seen as arrogant or self-centered, like the person is trying to take up as much space as possible. But research also shows that it can indicate anxiety or low self-esteem, almost like a subconscious way of trying to appear bigger and more in control.
It's amazing how one posture can have such different interpretations. I guess it shows you can't always judge a book by its cover, or should I say a personality, by its posture.
Definitely not.
What about people who sit with their legs crossed? What does that tell us?
People who cross their legs are often seen as creative, conversational, and charismatic. They're the life of the party, comfortable talking to anyone, but they can also be a little guarded and take time to warm up to new people.
So they might be the most interesting person in the room, but they're not going to spill all their secrets right away. I can relate to that. Okay, what about ankles crossed? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Ankles crossed is usually seen as a pretty positive posture. It suggests elegant sophistication and a sense of calm.
Okay.
People who sit like that are often seen as composed, confident, and in control. They don't rush into things, they think things through, and they don't let things get to them easily.
Got it. Ankles crossed, good. I'm making a mental note. What about the figure 4 leg lock? I've heard that one can be a bit controversial.
You're right, the figure 4 can send mixed signals. It can come across as confident and authoritative, but it can also seem cocky or even aggressive. People who sit like that are often seen as ambitious and driven, but they can also be perceived as competitive and stubborn.
So it seems like context is key, just like with everything else in body language. What are your thoughts on all this, Jenna? Do you think these posture interpretations hold any real weight, or is it all just speculation?
Well, while body language is definitely a powerful way to communicate, and how we sit can influence how others see us, it's important to remember that these are generalizations. There are always exceptions, and we shouldn't judge people solely on how they sit.
Absolutely. I think the takeaway here is to be aware of our own body language and how it might be affecting how we interact with others.
Right.
And of course, always be respectful of other people's personal space and boundaries.
Yeah.
What do you guys think out there listening? Have you ever noticed a connection between someone's sitting posture and their personality? Let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're ready for more.
Yeah. Before the break, we were talking about all those different sitting positions, and it got me thinking.
Oh, yeah.
You know how we're spending more and more time online these days? It makes me wonder if maybe we need like a whole new vocabulary for digital body language. Like, what does it mean when someone only uses emojis? Or when they're always checking their phone while you're talking to them?
Oh, that's a good one. Digital body language. We could do a whole deep dive just on that.
Right.
But speaking of fascinating topics, let's talk about a platform that's all about empowering people and helping them reach their full potential.
Yes, Girl Has It All. We are both so passionate about the work that Girl Has It All does. For anyone who might not know, Girl Has It All is more than just a brand. It's a whole movement dedicated to personal and professional growth, and it offers this amazing range of coaching fields.
Yeah, we've got everything from metaphysics and life coaching to professional anxiety management and even English language coaching. There's literally something for everyone.
And what I find so inspiring is that Girl Has It All is all about inclusivity and self-discovery. It's about creating a space where everyone feels welcome to explore their passions and unlock their unique gifts.
Exactly. And one of the really cool things is the Fellowship of the Chi.
Yeah.
This is a program that focuses on holistic development, which basically means helping people cultivate a sense of balance and well-being in every aspect of their lives.
I love that. It's not just about focusing on one specific area of personal growth, but taking this whole person approach.
Right.
It's about nurturing the mind, body, and spirit. What do you think, listeners? Have any of you tried holistic development practices? We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Okay, Thomas, while we're talking about all these exciting developments, let's get back to those scientific breakthroughs.
Okay.
Remember those surface acoustic waves we mentioned earlier? Well, scientists have made this amazing discovery that could completely change communication technology as we know it.
Oh, yeah, the sound waves. I remember you were comparing them to ripples on a pond.
Oh.
But to be honest, I could use a little refresher.
Sure.
What exactly are surface acoustic waves, and why should we care about them?
So surface acoustic waves, or SAW, Ws for short,
Okay.
are basically sound waves that travel along the surface of a material. They're already being used in a ton of tech, like your phone. But what's groundbreaking is that scientists have figured out how to manipulate these waves using magnetic fields to create something called non-reciprocal diffraction.
Non-reciprocal diffraction.
Ah.
Well, that sounds complicated. Can you explain it in a way that even I can understand?
Okay, so imagine a wave hitting an obstacle. Usually it would scatter in all directions equally, right?
Yeah.
But with non-reciprocal diffraction, scientists can make these sound waves behave in this totally asymmetrical way. They can control which direction the waves scatter and making them go one way but not the other.
So like a one-way street for sound. That's pretty amazing. But what does that mean in practical terms?
Well, think about it. Imagine being able to send sound signals in a specific direction without any interference or loss of signal. This could revolutionize communication technologies, making them way more efficient and secure. We're talking super fast, crystal clear wireless communication, even in really crowded places.
That sounds incredible. And you said earlier that this discovery could even impact quantum communication.
Oh, absolutely. Quantum communication uses the principles of quantum mechanics to send information in a way that's fundamentally secure. This breakthrough in controlling sound waves can be a huge step forward in this field, potentially leading to unhackable communication networks.
Now we're talking next level stuff. Acoustic seems like a field with so much potential for innovation. Are you guys as blown away by this as we are? What kind of applications can you imagine?
Thomas, you know how I love to connect things that seem totally unrelated. Well, earlier we were talking about how the way we sit can give clues about our personality. And now we're discussing all these incredible advances in acoustics. It makes me wonder, could there be a link between sound and personality?
That's a really interesting question. I've heard that certain kinds of music can affect our moods and emotions.
Yeah.
Could the sounds we surround ourselves with actually shape our personalities over time?
Yeah.
I think that's something we definitely need to explore in another deep dive.
For sure. There's always something new to learn. But before we get too carried away with that, let's shift gears and talk about another aspect of Girl Has It All that's near and dear to our hearts, this very podcast, complicated stuff.
Yes. It's so awesome to be a part of this platform. We're all about making complex topics accessible and engaging for everyone.
Right.
Whether you're a science nerd, a personal growth enthusiast, or just someone who's curious about the world around them.
Yeah.
We've got something for you.
We believe that knowledge is power. The more we understand ourselves and the universe, the more empowered we become to live fulfilling lives. And with complicated stuff, we're trying to break down those barriers to understanding and make learning fun and exciting.
Exactly. We love to take those seemingly complicated topics like black holes, quantum computers, or even body language.
Right.
And break them down in a way that's both informative and entertaining.
And we want our listeners to be active participants in this journey of discovery.
Yes.
Ask questions, challenge assumptions, and share your own insights. We're all in this together.
That's the spirit. We're a community of curious minds, always eager to learn and grow. Speaking of which, earlier in the show, we had this great discussion about the potential connection between sitting posture and personality. What are your final thoughts on that, Jenna? Do you really think those interpretations hold water?
Well, it's definitely a fascinating concept, but I think it's important to approach it with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Yeah.
Our body language can communicate a lot about us, for sure. And our posture can influence how others perceive us. But I think jumping to conclusions about someone's personality just based on how they sit is probably not the best idea.
I totally agree. It's all about being mindful and aware, but not letting those interpretations turn into judgments. We're all complex individuals with unique stories and experiences that shape who we are.
Well said, Thomas. It feels like we've covered so much ground already.
Yeah.
From black holes to body language and everything in between.
I know, right? And there's always more to learn.
Exactly.
And that's what we're all about here at Girl Has It All, empowering individuals to embrace lifelong learning and personal growth.
Yes.
Speaking of which, we haven't talked much about one of the key pillars of this amazing platform, the power of coaching.
That's right. Girl Has It All offers such a diverse range of coaching services.
It does, covering everything from metaphysics and life coaching to anxiety management and even English language coaching. What I find really impressive is the emphasis on creating a supportive and inclusive community.
Yes.
Where everyone feels empowered to pursue their goals and dreams.
Exactly. It's about giving people a safe space to connect with experienced coaches who can really guide them on their journey of self-discovery and transformation.
Yeah.
So whether you're looking to improve your communication skills, overcome limiting beliefs, or just gain a deeper understanding of yourself, there's a coach within the Girl Has It All community who can help you navigate those challenges and unlock your full potential.
It's like having a personalized roadmap for personal growth. What do you guys think out there listening? Have any of you had experiences with coaching that have been transformative? Share your stories with us. We always love to hear from you.
So Thomas, as we wrap up this episode, I want to circle back to a theme that's been kind of woven through all of our conversations today. The interconnectedness of seemingly disparate ideas. We've talked about black holes, body language, accidental inventions, and the transformative power of coaching.
We have.
At first glance, these topics might seem completely unrelated, but I think there's this beautiful thread that connects them all.
You know what? I see it too. It's like this underlying current of human curiosity.
Yes.
This drive to explore the unknown.
Exactly.
To push the boundaries of what we thought was possible. Whether we're probing the mysteries of the universe or deciphering the subtle cues of human communication, or even embarking on a journey of personal growth, it's that same spark of curiosity that keeps us moving forward.
And it's a good reminder that even though the world can sometimes feel really overwhelming and complex, there's always room for wonder discovery and the possibility of transformation.
Right.
And that's really what Complicated Stuff is all about. Embracing the complexity, celebrating the interconnectedness, and empowering you, our amazing listeners, to engage with the world in a meaningful and fulfilling way.
Beautifully said, Jenna. We hope you've enjoyed this whirlwind tour of knowledge, insights, and maybe even a few light bulb moments. We'd love to hear your thoughts on everything we've discussed today.
Yes.
Feel free to connect with us on social media, share your questions, let us know what resonated with you.
And remember, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep those curious minds engaged.
Until next time on Complicated Stuff, stay curious, stay connected, and keep striving to be the best versions of yourselves.
Bye, everyone.